What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd drop a quick video and catch up with you guys about Ruben Amorim and what's been happening so far. So let's get into it. Look, I know that there is a lot of fans out there right now that are absolutely tired of Ruben Amorim. I've been uploading some videos on Instagram, and people have absolutely, been so divided. The fans are so divided on Ruben Amorim. There's a lot of fans out there that are like, yes, Ruben is not the guy. Ruben is not the guy for Manchester United. He's making wrong decisions. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's out of his depth. There's a lot of fans as well, on the other hand, who are like, just let him be. Let him be. Let him do what he needs to do. And there are some portion of the fans who are thinking, look, Ineos haven't backed him properly. I'm going to try and pick apart all of these scenarios, and I'm going to be as unbiased and as logical as I can be. So you might see me be a bit contradictory, play a bit devil's advocate, but that's only up because I want to discuss this whole situation with you guys openly, right? So, number one, let's get into this. Number one, Ruben came in middle of the season probably knowing that he's not going to have huge amounts of money or huge amounts of transfers in January window. This is common consensus, and he knew this. He knew this before signing for Manchester United because he specifically said this in press conferences. He then decides to manage the squad the way he did. He's had some good results. Liverpool, Fulham away, Man City, Arsenal, FA Cup. He's had some decent results, but on the grand scheme of things, he's overall so far in Manchester United he's been a failure. Whether you like it or not, there's no way to sugarcoat it. He's been a failure. But as he's come into Manchester United, he's inherited a squad from Erik ten Hag, which is just in a mess. Is our squad good enough to be further up on the table in the Premier League? 100%. 100%. But is there a lot of issues in the squad that are holding the team back? Yes, there is. Marcus Rashford being one of them. Anthony being one of them. Malacia being one of them. Martin has been injured, in and out of injury being one of them. Mason Mount out being one of them. Luke Shaw, just a body who's never there, is one of them. Lindelof is of no use to Ruben Amorim right now, is one of them. Ericsson is not really of much use. That's 7 players I've just mentioned, you know what I'm saying? And then you have the forwards, Rasmus Højlund, who's absolutely incapable of being a striker for Manchester United. So all of these issues combined that he's inherited has obviously had an impact on how he can progress the team forward, how he can train them. A lot of fans are like, he has to adapt now. There are rumors and talks out there that the players want him to adapt and change his style and system for him to get wins. Because when you don't win, the morale is low, fans are questioning you, everything is down. But you know what? I actually don't want him to change anything. The way he's dealt with the squad, I'll be honest, for me, I'm happy. I am happy that he's managed to bench Casemiro, no problem. Yes, there is a use for Casemiro. He could definitely use him more in games. But the fact is, he's had the balls to say, Marcus Rashford, I am not working with you. He gave Marcus Rashford some opportunity, some chance when he came into the club, and then it didn't work. He saw what Marcus was like, his performances on the pitch, his behaviors off the pitch, his antics and whatever. He said the way he dresses, the way he moves, walks, talks, everything. All of these things included, he wanted Marcus Rashford gone. Well, he doesn't care if he wins, loses, or draws. He's had wins whilst Marcus has been away. He's had losses whilst Marcus has been away. But overall, he simply does not want Marcus in Manchester United. Plain and simple. Okay, cool. Same with Casemiro. Big earner, one of the leaders in the changing room. Now, here's my issue. You say that you want more leaders in the changing room, but then you treat Casemiro the way that you do, by giving him 30 seconds here and there. That is an issue for me, and that is a problem, because he's a leader, and he's clearly one of the most decorated players in the league, one of the most well-achieved players in Manchester United right now, the most achieved player in Manchester United. Why are you treating him like that? This is my problem. Then, on the other hand, you look at him having to have players like Luke Shaw, Mason Mount injured after a couple of minutes playing for him, just starting and then getting injured. Lisandro Martinez getting injured now. Injuries happen in every team, so you got to deal with it. You can't really put a lot of weight on it, because when Eric was here, I said injuries happen in every team. So we can't use this as an excuse. Same thing goes for Ruben. But how much weight are we gonna put on the fact that Ineos didn't decide to go the extra mile and give him one or two extra players in January. The fact is, Ineos got him Dogu and Aiden Heaven. Both players are not going to make tons of difference to Manchester United in terms of scoring goals and attacking. They're both defenders. They're not going to create chances. They're not going to create crazy assists and opportunities. And they're not going to help the team score more goals and progress further in cup competitions in the league. They're just not. They'll be a part of the team. They will definitely help the team. But in terms of overall up in the levels, I'm sorry, they're not up in the levels. Not that I can see anyways right now. I'm hoping that Aiden becomes a good first team player in the future, and I'm hoping Dogu can solve one of the left wing back issues that we have right now, which I'll touch on in a little bit of time. Ineos clearly wanted or clearly spoke to Kolo Muani. They spoke to or entertained João Felix. They entertained Tell, right, from Bayern Munich. They clearly were in the market for an attacker. They clearly were in the market for an attacker. What position were Man United in to say no to anyone? You know, fans were saying no to such a player, this, that, the other. I don't know why fans would say no to any player, right? But the fact that they were in the market for a forward, Kolo Muani was almost like he's going to be a Man United player. Tell was almost he's going to be a Man United player. It was almost done. And then Kolo went somewhere else. Tell went to Spurs. Why didn't Ineos act correct and proper and look for a forward player early on in the window and get it done? This is a big problem. Cunha was a little bit spoken about in January as well. But if you now reflect back on the window, they were looking at players from the start of the window, didn't work, really. And then all of a sudden, links with Kolo Muani got really strong and then it collapsed. Then you look at Tell towards the end of the window. They clearly tried to sign someone forward, but it was too little, too late, and the deal did not make sense in Ineos' eyes because it was just too much money to babysit Tell, and Man United wanted a permanent situation. It seems like, anyways, when a player like João Felix comes on the market, you don't let it go. You try and get a player like João Felix in by any means necessary. I think the fact that Ineos didn't attack the market with a bit more vengeance to try and get a forward player, with a bit more vim to try and get a forward player, has set Amorim up. Because you look at Garnacho, Ahmad, Xerxes, Højlund. That's our forward line, really. We've got no one else. Ahmad, he's not going to be able to play as a wing-back role. He's playing Dogu there. Let's see what happens in the matches going forward. He's not going to play him as a wing-back because we don't have enough 10s. I don't know if he's going to play Kobe and Bruno as a 10 together. We're waiting to see. He's going to play Mino and Ahmad in the 10s. Xerxes and Rasmus, I don't think both of these players the manager rates. Mad question mark as to why he uses Højlund over Xerxes more. I do not understand, and probably loads of fans as well, because Højlund is just a pain, absolute pain to watch. Xerxes adds so much more in games, and the manager waffles on about saying that we need training. Well, you clearly see in Xerxes being impactful in games. He gave him a little run a game and then dropped him. And then a couple of games before, he started Kobe Mino in the 9 over both the strikers. So it seems like Ruben hasn't made his own mind up as to what he wants to do with the front line. You had Anthony who was linking up okay with Amad Diallo. I have written off Anthony anyways. It seems like the manager's written him off as well. But again, another player that you could have utilised or given a fair chance in Manchester United that you didn't. Whether I like Anthony or not, the fact is Ruben Amorim could have given Anthony more of a chance. He did give Rashford a fair run of games. It didn't work. He banished Rashford. But can you say wholeheartedly that he gave Anthony Santos enough opportunity to say, okay, you are not going to be part of my plans. I have seen enough on match days. He's given Anthony, here you go, minutes. It's not worked. Whatever he's seen, he said, no, you go on loan. Maybe after loan you come back and it's different and the player performs on loan and Amorim changes his mind, whatever as such. Malacia, I think he just, again, doesn't rate his intensity. I think Malacia has not been the same player after injury anyway, so I think the Malacia situation with Man United is done. I think Malacia is going to move on from Manchester United, and that's that. Injuries has just riddled him off. De Ligt, I don't understand why you rotating him. He's holding bench quiet a bit as well, and I'm a bit surprised. All of a sudden, Maguire is seeming to be his saviour. Maguire's had a good few run of games where he's been okay, but then he's also had some poor games as well. De Ligt is supposed to be a senior player in the team, well achieved, well established, well seasoned. and he's not playing Delict. He's playing Euro instead, and Euro has having very, very shaky performances. Let's be honest. Mazraoui is having shaky performances as well. I think he's overcomplicating his whole formation and his whole implementation of his game. He's brought in a left-footed wing back only to play him on the wrong side, and this is going to cost him more issues. Mark my words. If he continues playing the players in the wrong positions, it is going to be a problem. I've said this before. We end up in the wrong positions at the wrong times more often because we are playing the right players in the wrong positions more often. He needs to swap Dallo and Dogu. He needs to stop this. I don't want to see this again. He puts Mazraoui as a right centre back, which is good. Put Dallo as a left centre back and see what happens. I don't think he's going to do it. He took him a long time to play Kobe Mino in the 10 as it is. So let's see what comes out of it going in the next few games. Up until summer, the jury's out for him. Whether you like it or not, the jury's out for him. But he has to turn it around to show Ineos more than anything that he deserves the time. And he has to win the Europa League if he wants to be trusted with any players anyways. Maybe Ineos have had a conversation with him and said, look, we will give you the big players that you want, or the serious, big money spenders players that you want in summer. For now, I think this is what you get. Man United should have sold Garnacho in January for 40, 50 million. The going rate and whatever is mad as it is. Look, Jadon Sancho gone to Chelsea for 25 million, 30 million, whatever it will be, depending on where Chelsea finish. And we bought Dogu for 30 million euros. Do you know what I mean? So we really got fleeced. We really, really got fleeced. And when Chelsea came for Garnacho, we should have sold him for 50 million. And that 50 million would have helped us a lot, because 50 million plus probably another 12, 13 million gets Cunha's deal done. And we're in a much better situation. That deal would have helped Man United level up straight away. And this is where Ineos are on fraud watch this summer. They have to make sure that they get the right type of players in. I am not going to sit here and say, oh my God, we got Aiden Heaven, I'm so happy. No, I'm not. I have not seen Aiden Heaven. He's not proven anything. He's not done anything. But he's been unveiled in Old Trafford and fans are lapping it up. Dogu is coming to the club. Fans are lapping it up. They're lapping it up because they want to get behind the player. They've never seen the player play. They don't know what the hell the player can do, but they're just behind it. And okay, fair enough. Fair dues. I hope the players do well as well. But these are not players that move me. These are not ambitious players, which is fine. Low wage structure, hidden gems, all of that good stuff. Let's see. Hopefully it works out. In the summer, at least 1 or 2 statement signings have to be made to show that this team wants to progress into the Premier League. This team wants to go and do movements. We don't have to go, if we finish 10th, we don't have to be like, oh, next season we'll finish 8th, then 6th, then 5th. No, Nottingham Forest, look how they changed, bro. They're top. They're fighting with the top of the league contenders. What transactions did they do? What transfers did they do? What wage structure? What manager did they have? They have a manager that parted ways from Saudi. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is possible with the right type of implementation of the squad and the right transfers. You can make leaps and bounds of jumps. And I think the biggest thing for Ruben is to win the Europa League, really and truly. Win the Europa League, get us in Champions League. To do what, you ask? So that we can play some football. Man, you play the team that's in front of you. Do you know what I'm saying? We might not win the Champions League, fair enough, but it might just help the players get into that mentality of we're a big club again. Because right now, the mentality of the team is absolutely shocking. The intelligence, the IQ, the reactions of the players is probably just absolutely shocking. And if you get into the Champions League, it also makes the players be accountable a lot more. Like, we are in a serious competitions. Let's really, really step up. Mentally, let's step up. When you're big players like Delix and Martinez and Casemiro and all of these players, Ahmad, you're probably thinking, I'm in Europa League. It's a bit shit. 13th in the league is a bit shit. Morale is down overall. So it affects the team. It really, really affects the team. If we can win a trophy this season and get into Champions League, it definitely lifts the players and some money in the bank as well. Listen, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of the points. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Ruben as well, and like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of people who watch the video who aren't subscribed, and I would appreciate if you subscribe to this channel and help me get to 30,000 subscribers. Thank you all for the support so far. There'll be lots of cool content dropping on the channel soon, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, people. Peace.